before we get started with tonight's show, I gotta thank some awesome super chatters from last week's episode. The first one being Zach Attack Reviews. Zach Attack's a good friend of mine, good friend of the channel, huge supporter over here, and he's got some amazing content over on his channel as well. Not just movie reviews, not just his own movie news show that he does on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is my time when I watch it. He's also got some first time watches videos. He's a really fun, charismatic guy. You definitely want to head over there and check out his channel. He's one subscriber away from 800 subscribers. I think he's probably passed it by now. Let's get him to 1,000, guys, and let's head on over there and check out his channel. Up next, we got Zach Guller. Zach Guller is another really good friend of the channel, huge supporter. He's an amazing guy with some amazing movie reviews over on his channel. If you are looking for a movie review, Zach Guller most likely has it. He does new movies, he does classic movies, he does his favorite retro movies. He recently just did Die Hard to celebrate the Christmas season, so definitely check out his link down in the description below and yeah, give him some love and support. And lastly, we've got Travis Mitchell. Now, Travis doesn't really have much on his channel at the moment, but he's still really great supporter of the channel, so I wanted to give him a huge shout out and a thank you, and his link is also down in the description below. To all of you gentlemen, thank you so much for all of your love and support towards our channel. It truly means the world. It goes such a long way. It's why I'm able to do this every week, and I thank you so much for it. Well, guys, tonight on Zach Milne Talks Live, it's our last show of 2023. We'll be back next year, January 11th. But for tonight, we still have some news to break down. There's a new report out there saying that Sasha Calle, who was Supergirl in The Flash, will no longer be Supergirl in the DCU. We'll talk about how legit that report is and whether or not this is a good or bad decision. Did Zachary Levi just throw shade at the Gunn bros? Well, that's what a lot of people online are saying, but we're going to take a look at that and talk about what we think he really meant to say. James Cameron is out there talking about the future of his Avatar sequels, and some of his comments may surprise you of where he's planning on going with the innovation of these movies. It was a big question mark over Deadpool 3, but it looks like Morena is going to return as the love interest of Vanessa, but how big will her role really be? All this and more, the last Zach Milne Talks Live of 2023 starts right now. Going on? Welcome to Zach Milne Talks Live. It is indeed our final show of 2023. It's a little bittersweet. I'm looking forward to the holidays. I'm looking forward to the Christmas break. But at the same time, I look forward to doing these every week. I love doing these shows. I love interacting, hanging out with you guys. So I'm a little bittersweet that this is the last one for 2023. But like I mentioned, we'll be back January 11th. We'll be refreshed. We'll be rejuvenized. We're gonna have a great year next year. This year has been unbelievably amazing. So I just want to thank all you guys who have joined the show this year, who have been with the show, and let's just have another great night. Let's have a great night on the show. If you guys are new to the channel, if you're new to the show and you haven't yet, we have a goal on this channel. I honestly cannot believe we have a goal of 2,500 subscribers before the end of the year. We have about 2 weeks left to hit that goal. And guys, you have been killing it. Killing it, guys. Look at this. We have 47 subscribers to go. We have 47 to go until we hit 2,500. I'm honestly at a loss for words. I am flabbergasted, gabberflasted, as a little throwback on the channel. Thank you guys so much for the continued support and love that you're giving to this channel. And if you're new and you're checking us out and you like what you see and you have fun, only if you have fun and you like what you see. I don't want to force you to, but consider hitting that subscribe button before you leave. Consider joining our community. We would love to have you join us if you enjoy the show. Also, one final note before the year is over. We do have channel memberships open on this channel. Now, we do have one more Members Talk Live show happening on Saturday. We're going to be ranking our top 5 best and top 5 worst DCEU movies in celebration and a look back at their legacy. So there are still spots to join on Members Talk Live. All the information is down in the description below. It's $6.99 a month. You must be over the age of 18. And if you just want to watch the show live, the $2.99 tier will get you that as well. But guys, honestly, this year has been incredible, and it's all thanks to amazing viewers like yourself. So let's before we jump into our last news items for the year, let's jump in here and let's talk to you guys. Let's talk to the amazing viewers that you are. So we'll start off here. We've got Preston Reviews. What's going on, Preston? Thanks for joining us tonight, man. I know you say you can't stay here in your message, but it's great to see you in here, man. I appreciate the support. He says, hey, Zach, I can't be here, but I wanted to say The Holdovers was great and my second movie of the year. Yeah. I'll take number two. Honestly, dude, I loved The Holdovers. More than I was expecting to, and I wanted to love that movie. I went into that movie like, I hope this is great. If the movie can deliver what the trailer promised, I'm gonna love this movie. I cannot believe how much I love this movie, dude. And the fact that you liked it too, man, this makes me happy. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Movie Reviews with Brian Lane, one of our beloved channel members. Thank you so much for being here, man. Thank you so much for being a channel member. I look forward to talking with you again on Saturday. He says, what movies are you planning on checking out this weekend? I'm planning on catching The Boy and the Heron and Eileen. So my wife and I, we have tickets bought and ready to go for Wonka tomorrow night, which I'm excited for. I'm looking forward to Wonka. I've liked the trailers. I think the trailers have been cute and kind of delightful. I like that it's the director. I think, what's his name? Paul King, I think. He directed the Paddington movies. So that has me super excited as well because those Paddington movies, man, are so delightful, and Wonka looks like it's going to be another delightful type of movie as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. Before we continue, I gotta go down here and I gotta see my boy Movie Time Minute, or should I say Movie Time Singing nowadays? With the direction your channel is going, dude. I love the idea. I watched that video like 3 times, dude. I think if you can do the parody with the movie reviews, the way that you did that welcome back video, I'm pumped, man. I think it's going to be great. And you send in a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, dude. You say, my man, keep up the great work. This has been a great year, and I'm excited to see where you and all the other great creators here go next year. Well, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that. And I should mention, if you do send in a super chat, we do have a super chat guide. For $1.99, make a community post linking to your channel. For $2.99, you get the community post as well as the link to your channel in the description of this video. And for $4.99 or more, you get the community post as well as the link to your channel in this video's description as well as next episode's description and a special video shout out next episode at the top of the show. But just so you guys know, I didn't shout that out at the top of the show just because if you do send in a super chat, it's not going to get addressed until January 10th. So that's a little bit of a wait for you guys. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. But honestly, Movie Time Minute, DJ, my friend, thank you so much for that, dude. That's so generous. And it's Christmas time, so you didn't have to do that, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, dude. And yeah, guys, definitely check out Movie Time Minute. Check out DJ over at his channel. He's doing some really fun, innovative stuff over there, and I'm super excited for the future of that channel, dude. All right, moving on. We got Daily Reacts TV. What's going on, dude? Thanks for joining us. He says, hey, how are you doing today? Letting you know the anniversary video that has your shadow comes out on December 22nd. I meant to say shout. Oh, okay. You shouted me out. You shouted out our channel in a video. Well, thank you so much, dude. That is the most mind-blowing support I think that I ever receive doing this, because I've had a couple of you guys shout out the channel and link the channel and let your viewers know to come over and check out this channel, and that honestly is mind-blowing to me that you guys do that. It warms my heart so much, and I really appreciate that. So that's amazing, man. I cannot thank you enough for that. Thank you so much. Daily Reacts TV says, almost forgot it comes out on my gaming channel. Okay, man. Awesome. Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. We got Nathan's Random Movies. What's going on, Nathan? Thanks for joining us tonight. He says, hey, Zach, I just recently saw Godzilla -1 for my older brother's birthday, and let's just say it was a better film than what I saw for my birthday. One of my favorites of the year. Yeah, I haven't seen Expendables, but I'm pretty sure I can honestly and truthfully say that Godzilla -1 was way better than Expendables, even though I haven't seen that one. Dude, I cannot believe how much I loved Godzilla -1. I'm still thinking about Godzilla -1. Still, it's been a week now, almost a week since I've seen that movie. And dude, that movie has stuck with me. It's awesome. I've gone back and watching a couple of the other Godzilla movies from the old days, from like the 50s and stuff, just because that movie got me so into Godzilla. Like, I've never been into Godzilla before. So yeah, man, that is quite the movie. I love it. It's definitely one of my favorites of the year by far. The View with Drew. What's going on, Drew? He says, hey, what's up, everyone? Well, what's going on with you, Drew? Hope you're doing well. We got my buddy Luke Ponto in here. What's going on, Luke? Thanks for joining us, man. He says, my man, Zach, what's up, dude? I'm doing well, man. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great holiday season. Michael Entity, another one of our beloved channel members. Thank you so much for being here tonight, my man. He says, big boss man Zach, always great to see you every Wednesday. Likewise, my friend. I wanted to know your favorite superhero movie that's not associated with Marvel or DC. The one that comes off the top of my head is honestly Chronicle, which is it's a shame that the director of that, Josh Trank, that's his name. It's a shame that the Josh Trank got such a bad deal handed to him on Fan 4-Stick and kind of tanked, no pun intended, his career, because I really liked Chronicle. I thought Chronicle was like one of the best found footage movies I'd ever seen, and I love what he did with that movie. I really wish we could have seen more of Josh Trank's work, but I guess he won't be around for a little bit more. I don't know. He kind of got kicked out of Hollywood because he told people not to go watch his big studio movie. It's a shame. The View with Drew says, it's a shame that Sasha Calle, Yippee-Ki-Yay. Is it Kaye? I always think of it Yippee-Ki-Yay. So it might be Sasha Calle. I don't know. Won't be returning because she killed it in The Flash. Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that in just a little bit, man. So I'll hold my thoughts for that. 3-Day Movie Cinema, what's going on, Jake? Thanks for joining us, man. He says, 3D Jake in the house. What's up, man? How's it up there in the Great White North, snowing? Also sad about Sasha Calle. Didn't care for her in Flash, but I loved her take. Man, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Well, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you as well, dude. I'm doing pretty well up here in the Great White North. Honestly, not much snow, which I'm surprised by. Usually we have a lot of snow in my area at this point, but we haven't gotten any yet. I think we're supposed to get some by next week, but so far none. But yeah, man, we'll talk about Sasha being out as Supergirl in just a little bit. The View with Drew says, out of all the comic book movies, question for everyone, out of all the comic book movies that have come out so far this year, how would you rank them? I did that on our last stream. I can't remember what it was, and I don't have the website up for me to pull it, and I can't remember all the names off the top of my head, so I can't rank them at the moment. But I did love Across the Spider-Verse. I really liked The Flash, honestly. And I can't think of what else came out. I don't know. I'm blanking. I'm sorry, man. Aaron Austin, what's going on, Austin? Thanks for joining us tonight, my man. He says, hello, everyone. Hello, Austin. It's great to have you here. Nathan Van Movie says, what did you think of the new Kung Fu Panda 4 trailer, and how would you rank the 3 movies? I have not seen the trailer yet. I did not dedicate time today to see the Kung Fu Panda 4 trailer. I definitely will watch that pretty soon. Probably right after the stream, I might go check it out. As far as ranking the movies, it's been a while since I watched them, but I think I'd probably go... I don't know. I'd probably go 1, 2, 3. I'd probably just go in order, I think. I'd have to watch them again, though, to be honest with you. Movie Dean, what's going on, Movie Dean? Thanks for joining us, man. Oh, snap. Did I click on a Zach stream that isn't already an hour in? Hyped. Yeah, man. Yeah, we're just getting started, dude, and it's great to have you here. Guys, honestly, Movie Dean, phenomenal channel. Definitely check out Movie Dean if you haven't yet. Great guy over there. Great content. Great news breakdown. I love watching his videos. The View with Drew says, what do you guys think is the worst DC superhero movie? I think Catwoman 2004 is easily the worst. It's so painful to sit through. I haven't seen Catwoman 2004, to be honest with you. Just because I heard it was so bad that I avoided it. So I think the worst, I don't know, man. I might get controversy for this. I did not like Ben Affleck's Daredevil, like almost at all. I thought that movie was atrocious. I really did not like that movie when I watched it. Granted, I watched the director's cut, which is like an extra half an hour longer or something like that, so it was way too long. But yeah, I'm gonna go with that one for now, even though it may not be the the most popular choice. Aaron Austin's in here saying that his worst is Wonder Woman 1984. Yeah, hard to argue with that one, man. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's worse than Daredevil. I got some enjoyment out of 84, but for the most part, it was really, really bad. Especially coming off of the first Wonder Woman. That was very disappointing. Did I read your question wrong? One sec. Oh, the worst DC superhero movie. Oh, the worst. Okay. Daredevil's not DC. I know that. Daredevil's not. I'm scared to go further down the comments. Zach said Daredevil. That's not DC. That's Marvel. I know. Daredevil's Marvel. DC, the worst DC movie. I don't know. Maybe Steel with Shaquille O'Neal. I've seen a little bit of that one. I couldn't even finish it. So maybe that one. Movie Dean is saying he probably thinks Superman 4: The Quest for Peace is the worst one. Is Steel DC? Maybe Steel isn't DC. I can't remember. But yeah, Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, that's a pretty bad one. But that one kind of circles back for me for being so bad that it's good because it's so hilariously bad. Whereas Steel was not hilariously bad for me. It was just bad. And I think I turned it off like half an hour into the movie. I can't even remember. I know I didn't finish it though. So there you go with that. Nathan's Random Movies says, do you think Aquaman 2 will be good? Do I think Aquaman 2 will be good? Now, that's a very different question from do I think it will be successful. I think Aquaman 2 will be okay. I'm not expecting the best thing ever from DC, or even this year, and I'm not expecting the worst thing ever. I'm expecting somewhere in the... Because I kind of felt that way about the first Aquaman. The first Aquaman, to me, I thought was very just okay. I didn't love that movie. I don't think I've rewatched that movie since the theater. I own the Blu-ray, but I don't think I've ever put the Blu-ray in, to be honest with you. So, do I think Aquaman 2 will be good? I think it'll be okay, at best. If it's any better than okay, it would have surpassed my expectations, so we'll see what happens. But I saw a clip today of Black Manta punching Patrick Wilson's character, and it looked like a Looney Tunes cartoon. So I'm not confident with Aquaman 2, to be honest with you. Movie Time Minute says, you bet. Yeah, I've got my song parody recorded for my Godzilla -1 review coming this weekend. Nice. Just got to shoot the video portion of it all. Can't wait for everyone to see it. I'm looking forward to that one, man. I was hoping you were going to do that one. I'm looking forward to hearing what song you picked, how you put the lyrics to it, and what you have to say about that movie, dude, because I loved that movie. Aaron Austin says, as someone whose birthday is February, I understand what it's like watching a bad movie on your birthday. Yeah, January and February aren't the best movie months to have your birthday. That's unfortunate, man. I'm sorry that your parents couldn't birth you a little bit later. Why couldn't they have waited till the summertime? Anyways, Nathan Van Movie says, is Everything Ever All at Once a superhero movie? No, I wouldn't say it's a superhero movie. I don't think just because you're sci-fi fantasy with powers makes you... Because, I mean, is Star Wars a superhero movie? I would argue no, probably not. You could make the argument yes, but I've never heard of Star Wars being referred to as a superhero movie. And Everything Ever All at Once kind of fits in that for me. It's sci-fi, it's fantasy, there's some sort of power to it. But I don't know if I would consider it a superhero movie. But I also think there's a good argument to be made that it could be. All right, we'll take a couple more and then we'll get started with our first topic. And we got Zach Attack Reviews, my buddy in here, and beloved channel member. Thank you so much for being here, my friend, and for being a channel member. He says, the last stream of 2023. This is it. Let's go. I'm so excited for 2024, but yeah, I'm kind of sad that this is the last one for 2023, but it's gonna be for it's gonna be for the best because it's gonna be good for my burnout and it's gonna be good for my holidays. Movie Reviews with Ryan Lane says, I haven't seen The Flash, so I have no investment in who plays live action Supergirl. That's fair, man. That's completely fair. Zach Attack Reviews is saying Across the Spider-Verse is probably... Oh, he's ranking them. Okay, he's saying Across the Spider-Verse, then Blue Beetle, then Shazam, then Flash, then Ant-Man 3. Oh, wait, I gotta add TMNT and Godzilla as comic book movies. Is Godzilla a comic book? Godzilla's not based off a comic book, is it? I don't know. I'd have to look that up. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of Godzilla being a comic book. That's interesting, though, because if Godzilla -1 counts as a comic book movie, that's my favorite of the year. Hands down. If Godzilla is indeed a comic book movie, that is my favorite comic book movie of the year. It's surpassed Across the Spider-Verse for me. All right, guys, and with that, we're just going to take a short little break. But thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And let's get started with our first topic. And our first topic, guys, is this. So, with James Gunn starting his DCU, a big question mark has kind of been who's coming over, who isn't. Because James Gunn has started to he's bringing Peacemaker over. That's already been confirmed. He's bringing Zolo over as Blue Beetle. That's been confirmed. That's technically a DCEU movie. You can make the argument that it's not, but it technically is. Henry Cavill's out, though, as Superman. We got a new Superman. So it's all kind of a what's going on? And in the midst of this questioning, a big question mark has been, what about Sasha Calle as Supergirl, who was introduced and made her debut in The Flash? Well, Now, this is far from being confirmed. This is way far from being confirmed because this doesn't come from James Gunn, who we know loves to confirm things and talk. We finally got Nicholas Hoult confirmed as Lex Luthor. We got his brother Sean Gunn confirmed as Maxwell Lord. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But James Gunn is not confirmed whether or not Sasha Calle is or is not Supergirl moving forward. But according to this article, which you can find, I believe this, I've got this from Yahoo News, but I believe the full quote comes from comicbookmovie.com. Anyways, this is what they have to say, and this is what a scooper is saying about Sasha Calle's involvement with the DCU going forward. As of publishing, Sasha Calle has not been confirmed to reprise her role of Supergirl from 2023's The Flash in Superman Legacy. However, according to industry insider Daniel Richmond, aka Daniel RPK, this guy is everywhere on Twitter. He's always breaking scoops. Some of them come true, some of them don't. So he's a little unreliable, but he can also, hit one every once in a while. Supergirl, aka Daniel PRK, Supergirl is currently being cast for Superman Legacy. This suggests that Sasha Calle is not returning as Supergirl and will not play the role in the DCU. However, fans should take Daniel RPK's scoop with a grain of salt, like other scoops, and wait for the official confirmation from James Gunn. Absolutely agree with that. So, let's just explore this for a little bit, though. Let's explore the idea of Sasha Calle's Supergirl, because I know a lot of fans were really into her Supergirl, and I was one of them. I enjoyed her Supergirl. I didn't love her Supergirl. I didn't feel like her Supergirl had enough to do in The Flash, honestly, to really showcase her range as this character. But for what she was given, I enjoyed what she did. Now, does it make sense, though, to bring her into the DCU? I mean, you can argue that it makes no sense to bring, Viola Davis into the DCU. But regardless of all that, there's a couple things with Sasha Calle's Supergirl that makes me believe this scoop. It makes me believe that Supergirl will not be moving forward in this iteration into the DCU. Number one, The Flash, not a very good performer in the box office. I don't even think The Flash made I think it just made over $200 million at the box office on a $250 million budget. It lost money. No one really saw it, and I don't think they want anything to associate with The Flash. They've already axed everything that Michael Keaton was supposed to come back into. Ezra Miller's nowhere to be seen. I don't think they want to connect the DCU to The Flash in any way possible. Sasha Calle as Supergirl is in a different alternate reality than even the DCEU. She is in a reality in The Flash that The Flash created because he went back to save his mother. By the way, this will have spoilers for The Flash 2023 if you haven't already been able to tell. So there's that too. She's not even part of the DCEU technically. She's part of an alternate timeline that Barry created that never was supposed to exist. And thirdly, she's dead. I mean, The Flash makes that perfectly clear that in that timeline, Sasha Calle's Supergirl, she's destined to die. They try to save her. Fate has it that she always dies, and she dies, and she stays dead in the end of The Flash. So I really don't see how she would have worked to come into the DCEU and be this Supergirl with all of those all of those into account. Now, you could also make the argument that, well, you know what, Supergirl, she can just be a variant like Marvel's doing. She can just show up like Zolo as Blue Beetle's going to show up in the DCU. Why can't Sasha Calle have that same kind of thing? I just think that creates too much confusion for the audience. I already think the DCU is causing a little too much confusion for the audience, but we'll have to see how it plays out before I fully commit to those thoughts. But as far as with this one, I do think that this would be a little bit confusing to the audience because, wait, now does the DCU take place in that timeline that Barry created in The Flash? I think a clean slate and just starting fresh with the character, as well as being able to cast who you want to cast for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, because Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is going to be a different iteration than Sasha Calle's. Sasha Calle's Supergirl probably doesn't fit the description that they're looking for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow with the backstory and everything that they're planning on doing with that character. Let the director of that movie have a fresh new Supergirl, a new character that they get to mold and make from scratch into the Supergirl that they need for their movie. That's what I think they should do. That's what I think they're doing. So even though this report is strictly rumor, totally not confirmed by anyone at DC or Warner Brothers. I do believe the legitimacy of this report. But what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of Sasha Calle possibly not going over to the DCU? Do you like that decision? Are you going to miss her? Do you wish that she was going over? Or do you believe that she is going over and that Daniel RPK, whatever his name is full of crap? Comment down below and let me know. I'd love to hear all your thoughts and opinions about that, guys. And with that, let's go back and see what you guys are saying about this. So where did we leave off? We left off with Zach Attack Reviews. All right, we'll start. Okay, he says, I started Catwoman and turned it off when she got her powers. It was too goofy. Yeah, I've seen so many YouTube videos of it. I've just never sat down and watched the full movie myself, to be honest. So I know the cringy scenes. I know what the popular things to hate on are, but I've never sat down and watched it myself. Movie Time Minute says, worst DC superhero movie to me was Superman 4 Quest for Peace. We got 2 Superman 4 Quest for Peace in here. So far, that's the overall winner. And, yeah, I mean, I can't argue with it. I can't argue with it being the worst. I mean, that is the one. Yeah, that is the one where John Cryer and Gene Hackman break into the museum and cut Superman's hair with bolt cutters. Yeah, that movie has a multitude of problems. Nathan Dread Movie says, what have you seen recently for the first time? I recently just saw Blade Runner, Layer Cake, and Kingsman: The Secret Service. I recently watched all the Zack Snyder movies in preparation for Rebel Moon. And aside from his DC movies, those were all first watches for me. So I was like up to my eyeballs in Snyder, in the Snyderverse, so to speak, for the past week and a half. So I watched Dawn of the Dead for the first time. I watched Sucker Punch for the first time. I watched 300 for the first time. Legend of the Guardians Owls of Ga'Hoole for the first time. I watched Army of the Dead for the first time. I watched Watchmen for the first time. I think that's it. I think that's where I'm at. And I've also watched a couple of the Japanese Godzilla movies for the first time. So that's kind of what I've been watching. That's what I've been sticking my head into. Zach Attack Reviews says, Steel is DC, and it's a childhood classic. How dare you? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm glad you love it, dude. I'm glad you love it. But I couldn't finish it. I couldn't get through it. Dragon Movie Guy, what's going on, dude? Thanks for joining us tonight. He says, hi, Zach. Love the show. Oh, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that. Loved Sasha Calle in the role, and I liked the film. Honestly, though, Margot Robbie aside, replace everybody. Yeah, that's another one, too. I think Margot Robbie is the one that hasn't been confirmed to come back yet, which is kind of surprising because I think her Harley Quinn is one of the most beloved characters, and they haven't brought it back yet. I'm with you on that. I've talked about it ad nauseum on this show and over at this channel for like the past year. I'm for a clean slate. I want everything rebooted. I want nothing at all to relate back to the DCU. I do not want to look at a single frame in the new DCU and have my mind think about the DCEU by a character that pops up, an actor that pops up. Well, maybe an actor's a little bit too far, but I'm totally for it. I want a clean slate. I want a fresh reboot, but it doesn't look like that's what we're fully going to get. And honestly, if they are going to bring some people over, keep Margot Robbie. If that's what you're going to do, if Peacemaker's in, if Viola Davis is in, if Zolo is in, if the rules don't apply to them, I don't think the rules should apply to Margot Robbie because she is amazing as Harley Quinn, and I love it every time she pops up. So, but I'm with you on that, man. I share the same mind. Movie Reviews with Ryan Lane says, why did humanity ever let Shaquille O'Neal have an acting career in the first place? Oh, man. I mean, look, it was before I was even... was it before I was born? 1998 is when I was born. When was that out? I think it was before I was born. So I had nothing to do with that, man. But yeah, I don't know why humanity... I mean, I don't know, man. I haven't seen enough Shaquille O'Neal movies to comment on that. Michael11591 says, what's going on, man? He says, hey, Zach, how you doing? I'm doing well, Michael. Thank you for joining us, dude. It's great to have you in here. Looks like I stepped on some toes because Movie Time Minute's saying he actually likes Steel. So it looks like I stepped on some toes here. Michael11591 says, Steel is awful. Yeah, Shaq going, it's hammer time, like he's MC Hammer. Oh, my goodness, yeah. I don't even remember that scene, to be honest with you. Maybe I didn't get to that part. Movie Dean says, man, Steel was awful, but it had the coolest toys. I had an armored Shaq on a huge motorcycle holding a gigantic hammer. You don't get much cooler than that. Dude, honestly, if I had that as a kid, I would think Steel was if I had that now as an adult, if I had that in the case display over here. By the way, have you guys noticed how these characters are all knocked down and they've been knocked down for like a month? And I keep thinking, I keep looking in my camera view and being like, huh, that looks kind of sloppy. I should really fix that. Then I totally forget about it and I move on with my life. So yeah, those characters have been falling over for a while. But if I had that Steel figure now in that case, I think Steel would seem like the coolest superhero to me ever. So that's awesome, man. I hope you still have that, because that could probably be some money now. Let's see. We got Dragon Movie Guy saying you can recast in different roles, but it's the Disney Star Wars line of let it die. Yeah, Snyderverse was awful. I didn't think Snyderverse was awful. I definitely think that it was a very flawed universe. I thought it was a very sloppy and clumsy universe, but it had its moments. But yeah, like Kylo Ren, right? Let it die. Burn it if you have to. Like just get rid of it. I agree with that, man. I agree with that. Nathan Random Movie says, worst DC movies, Catwoman. That seems to be a favorite. Green Lantern 2011. I don't hate that movie. I don't particularly like that movie. I haven't seen that movie in a very long time, but I don't hate that movie. Justice League, yeah, the theatrical cut of Justice League isn't great. Supergirl, that movie is hilarious. I'm sorry. Batman and Robin, yeah. Again, kind of circles back to being really so bad that it's funny, but it's also way too long. It's like 2 hours long, and it just overstays its welcome way too much. And Jonah Hex are the first few that come to mind. I haven't seen Jonah Hex, but I've heard nothing but bad things. Zach Attack Review says first Godzilla comic book came out in the 1950s. Oh, okay. And he's been in Marvel, IDW, and now DC. Godzilla is in DC. Put him in the DCU, for crying out loud. That's what I want to see. That's fascinating, dude. I did not know that. I had no idea. So the first movie of Godzilla was 1954, I think. So the comics predate the movies, so he's in the comics first. So Godzilla is a comic book movie. Godzilla -1 is my favorite comic book movie of the entire year. Hands down. Wow. You learn something new every day. I had no idea, man. That's awesome. Dragon Movie Guy says, my channel has been on a semi-hiatus as I started a new job, video editor for an entertainment TV show. Well, that's awesome, dude. Congratulations on that. That's amazing. And I wanted/needed to focus on the day job for a bit, but I'm looking forward to live streaming and podcasting again in a month or so. Well, that's very exciting, man. We're looking forward to having you back on the space, and congratulations on the new job. I mean, that's amazing. That's like what you want to do, and that's amazing, dude. I'm happy for you. Great job on that. Nathan's Random Movies says, I think it is a terrible idea to bring anyone from the DCU into the DCU. Can we even consider that a reboot, or is it just confusing that some people are returning and others are not? Yeah, here the thing with what they're doing, and we've talked about it ad nauseum for over the past year, but you know what? I don't mind. I don't mind talking about it anyway. It is confusing for audiences, I think, because with the DCU, especially coming out 2 years, I guess, because Aquaman is technically, well, like a year and a half after the last DCEU movie. Like, the audience, that's not a big enough distance. So, you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember, I remember this, when they canceled Spider-Man 3 in 2007, and then they were rebooting it with The Amazing Spider-Man in 2012. So that's a decent gap. There were still people in my life, like I remember like adults were talking, because I was in middle school at this time, so there was some of my peers talking about it, and there was also some like adults in my life talking about it. They didn't know if The Amazing Spider-Man was supposed to still be the Tobey Maguire movies. They were like, okay, so is it still the same thing? Is it still like it was so close together that they didn't know if it was new or not. And I feel like that's gonna happen with the DCU as well. I feel like you're gonna get audiences who aren't in this bubble, who aren't talking about it. They're gonna sit down in a theater. They're gonna be eating their popcorn. They're gonna see the new Superman. I don't know, maybe not Superman, but they're gonna see some new DC trailer playing with someone they don't recognize playing a different role, and then all of a sudden Zolo Blue Beetle is going to show up, or Viola Davis from Suicide Squad is going to show up, or Peacemaker is going to show up, and they're going to sit there like, oh, so is this do I still have to watch those movies in order to get what's going on in this? Like, I don't know why you have to make it harder for yourself. I don't know. It's because James Gunn has connections with those people, and it's more than just a job. It's real relationships, I'm sure, and I get that, but just from the outside looking in, I just don't understand why you make it harder for yourself, to be honest with you. Zach Attack Reviews says, nice. Well, nice. Back at you, man. Movie Dean says, I think Sasha really fit well in a Snyder universe. She has a lot of the raw intensity like Cavill's Superman. Maybe she won't fit next to Gunn's Superman, but she was great in The Flash. That's a really good point, too. That's a really good point. In the universe that she was injected into, and in the tone and in the way that it was set up, they designed her Supergirl for that fit, and she fit really well, but we don't know yet what Gunn's tone is, what Supergirl Women of Tomorrow's tone is, how would she fit in those movies, and maybe she doesn't. Maybe she does, maybe she would, maybe she doesn't. I'm gonna suspect that they're moving on from her. I think they're moving on from Ezra. They've already moved on from anything to do with Michael Keaton. They scrapped the Batgirl movie that he was in. They took out his scenes from the upcoming Aquaman 2. Everything from The Flash seems to be scrapped. I don't think they're going to move forward with Sasha. Just my observations. All right, guys. With that, let's take another break and let's move on to topic number 2. And topic number 2 is going to be this, guys. Okay, this has been fun. If you've been on Twitter, which, that's everyone's favorite place to go, right? It's Twitter. Zachary Levi has not been having the best time this year, I don't think. At least in the fandom. The fandom hasn't been very nice to poor old Zach. His movie, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, didn't do very well. In fact, it did very poorly. I think that movie only crawled over $130 million worldwide. Burned and died at the box office. Then you had Zachary Levi out here making comments about, The Rock messed up what was going on with the ending and the post-credit scenes and blaming this and blaming that. Just Zachary Levi has not been looking good in the fans' eye view. And what do you know? Zachary Levi said something again, and now the fans are mad. And what are you doing, Zach? What's going on? So what happened with Zachary Levi? Well, he was doing an interview on comicmovie.com. And while he was on the interview on comicmovie.com, the interviewer decided to ask Zachary Levi if he was going to continue playing different characters in James Gunn's DCU, like how Sean Gunn is going to be playing. He was just announced as Maxwell Lord, who was Pedro Pascal in Wonder Woman 1984, but is now going to be played by Sean Gunn. Zachary Levi was asked if he was going to also take on different roles in the DCU, which led him to saying, you know what? The brother of James Gunn, I guess, gets to be whatever character he wants to be. That's a paraphrase, but that's kind of what he said. And the fans took that quote, and the trades took that quote, and they plastered it everywhere and said, "Look at Zachary Levi being petty. Look at this. Look what he said about this. He's blah 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 blah." Okay. Here's the thing about reading articles. Here's the thing about reading headlines specifically. Headlines don't always give you context. On the surface, that quote looks like Zachary Levi was throwing a little bit of shade at the Gunn Bros. Here is what the full-on conversation was. So, this comes to us from comicmovie.com. Zachary Levi has just been asked if he's going to continue playing different characters in DCU like Sean Gunn is with James Gunn. He says, I don't know, Levi said when asked if he'd be doing the same thing following his run in Shazam in the prior DC film world. He says, listen, when you're the brother of the guy who runs DC, I guess you get to play whoever you want. Sean was never established in the DC universe, Levi said. I mean, he's played Marvel characters, but this is the first DC character. Killian pointed out that Sean Gunn had previously appeared in what Levi later described as cameos like Calendar Man and Weasel in Suicide Squad 2021. Levi questioned whether Momoa was signed onto any other DC roles, mainly that of Lobo. So basically, the interview went on to say, like, oh, what about Jason Momoa coming on and playing a different character? And Zachary Levi was like, Are you talking about Lobo? Talking about the rumor of Lobo? So here's the thing: when you read the quote of Zachary Levi, yeah, it kind of sounds like, hey, you know what? I guess when you're the brother of the guy who runs DC, you just get to play whatever character you want. Like when you read it, that's kind of how the tone that you hear it. When you watch the video, Zachary Levi doesn't say it like that. Zachary Levi doesn't say it with contempt or any kind of aggression or anything. He says it confused because the interviewer asks him specifically, are you going to play different characters like Sean Gunn? And he looks at the interviewer like, Sean Gunn wasn't in the DC movies. He was in the Marvel movies. And then he kind of like cracks a joke like, "Hey, I guess when you're the brother of the guy who runs DC, I guess you get to be whatever character you want to be." That was the extent of it. That was it. That is what Zachary Levi said. That was the context in which he said it. Now, I can see why people are reading into this. I can see why people are reading into this and being like, well, Zachary Levi, he must just be so petty. He must just be so upset about this whole thing with being left out of the DCU and all that stuff. And I can see why people would go there, because put yourself in Zachary Levi's shoes for a second, right? You just get a huge role. You are the lead character of a superhero movie. You're the superhero in the superhero movie, and you're in a universe. You're in the DC universe with Batman and Superman and all these other crazy characters. Maybe you'll get to cross over. This is a dream come true. This is your big break. Zachary Levi's not really a household name, and this was going to be it. And then the movie comes out. It does decently well. You get a sequel. As the sequel's coming out, they announce, hey, you know what? There's a new guy running the show, running DC, and he gets to make the shots of who comes, who doesn't, and then all of a sudden Zachary Levi's movie tanks, does terribly. No one goes to see it, and then all of a sudden this guy running DC is taking roles away from people, recasting them, but keeping some people around, and then you've got the whole internet asking you, hey, are you sticking around as Shazam? Are you staying around with James Gunn? Yeah. You could get the perception that someone in that position might be a little bit ticked off, might be a little bit contempt, might be a little bit angry about the whole situation going on. But we don't know Zachary Levi. We don't know what's going on inside. We don't know what he's feeling. And so to just assume, based off of a quote on a headline, that Zachary Levi has all this anger and contempt for Sean Gunn and James Gunn and what's going on, watch the video. Look at the source. Because honestly, when this was going on Twitter and people were just like, at Zachary Levi, when I watched the video, I was like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? You guys are looking like fools. You've got it completely wrong. Zachary Levi does not come across that way at all. I don't know, guys. Anyways, those are all my thoughts and opinions on this whole situation with Zachary Levi. I think it was totally harmless and has been blown out of proportion drastically. But what do you guys think of this? Maybe you interpreted his words a little bit differently. Maybe you read his social cues and his facial expressions a little bit differently than I did. Comment down below and let me know all your thoughts and opinions on this, guys. And without further ado, let's take a look at what you guys are saying about this mess. Let's take a look and see what you guys are saying. All right, we've got a couple responses to some people. We've got Aaron Austin saying, my hot take, they should just scrap DC and have these directors make new movie material that we can reboot in 40 years. One more hot take. I could care less for Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. I did, however, love her in the last Suicide Squad. Yeah, I thought she was great in the last Suicide. I thought she was good in 2016 Suicide Squad, but I thought she definitely shined in the 2021 version. Scrapping DC altogether, I'm sure, I know you're joking and stuff like that. That will never happen. They'll never scrap DC. Even though the movies aren't doing well at the box office, the potential that's there and the decades of stories and characters, they're not going to scratch DC. Those movies will be around long after we're both gone, my friend. But as far as not liking Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, I mean, aside from the suicide, I don't know. I liked Birds of Prey when it came out, and I still do like the movie, but she plays it a little bit differently than she plays it in Suicide Squad. She plays it almost too cute, almost like almost like too likable in a way that she seems too, too bubbly, I think, in Birds of Prey. But I thought she killed it. I thought she nailed it in the last Suicide Squad movie, like you're saying there. So I do not agree with your hot take, but I can weirdly see where you're coming from with it. Oh, we did a jump there. Here we go. Hungry Movie Buff, what's going on, Hungry Movie Buff? Thanks for joining us tonight, my friend. He says, hey, Zach, glad to catch an awesome live from an awesome guy. Thank you so much, dude. That's so nice of you to say. Have you seen Blackbird on Apple TV? If not, and you're into true crime, I recommend at the highest level. I have heard so many people recommend Blackbird to me, but I still don't have Apple TV. Since my subscription ended, I got like a year free of Apple TV once I did something with I switched over my phones or something. And once that ended, I didn't renew it, and I still haven't renewed it. So I haven't watched anything on Apple this entire year. So I gotta get on that, but I don't even have Apple right now. So until I get Apple, I can't really watch it. Nathan Dreaded Movies says, since the DCEU is coming to an end, what are your favorite films in this franchise? I would go number 1, Zack Snyder's Justice League, number 2, Peacemaker, and number 3, Wonder Woman. So we're gonna be doing this on Members Talk Live on Saturday, and the video will be up on Monday. So I'm going through my list right now. I think off the top of my head, if you had to give me 3, Zack Snyder's Justice League is number 1. I think followed by The Flash. That's subject to change, but at the moment I'll say followed by The Flash, and then I think Man of Steel. But I'll have to look at my list again before I fully make up my mind. Yeah, Zach Attack reviews. Another person suggesting Blackbird. We gotta watch this, Zach. Yeah, Zach Attack and I were both on the Oberthorian Alliance of Two Perspectives on Sunday. On Sunday, we did a live stream over on their channel, the Oberthorian Alliance of Two Perspectives, and we did our top 5 favorite TV shows and our top 5 movies of the year, and one of those on the list was Blackbird, and we got highly recommended to check out Blackbird. So definitely go on over to the Oberthorian Alliance from Two Perspectives, check out that stream, give them some love and support, and yeah, it was a lot of fun to do that. But yeah, Zach, we gotta check that out. See here, Derpy Entertainment. What's going on, Derpy? Thanks for joining us, my friend. It says Man of Steel was a good movie, then Batman vs Superman happened, and after that it was a bunch of nonsense. Man of Steel was a good movie. I think Batman vs Superman was okay. After Batman vs Superman, though, it did kind of, because after Batman vs Superman, you got Suicide Squad 2016. Then you did have a high with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was a big high. Is that after Wonder Woman? Is that when Justice League came out? Man, that was fast-tracked. Yeah, I guess Justice League came out, and that wasn't very good. And then Aquaman came out, and it was okay, and that made $1 billion. I think, honestly, after Aquaman, I think is where it started to go a little bit more downhill than not. Although, was Shazam after or before? I can't remember the DCU's order, but yeah, I can see why you would say Batman vs Superman, because that movie was very flawed, was very messy, was very clumsy. But regardless of all that, I still enjoyed it. Nathan Dreaded Movie says, hot take, I'm actually quite a big fan of the DCEU, and I like a majority of it. Maybe it helps that I saw most of them in the theater, starting with Batman vs Superman. I would honestly say I would probably count myself as a fan of the DCEU, because I do think I like the majority of them more than I dislike them. The ones that I mostly really dislike are Wonder Woman 1984. Even Suicide Squad 2016 is kind of fun in a way. The characters have good dynamics and camaraderie, but the movie itself isn't very good. I'm probably forgetting one that I really didn't like, but yeah, those are the only ones that popped in my head of ones that I really disliked. Other than that, they're all kind of just like okay to decent. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Shazam: Fury of the Gods, so I'd probably throw that in there too. I wasn't a huge fan of Shazam: Fury of the Gods, but anyways, that's all I got for that. I'm glad you like it though, man. I'm glad that you are a big fan of it. Aaron Austin says, that TV show hiring more editors. Yeah, hook us up, Dragon Movie Guy. Whoops. Dragon Movie Guy says, I admire your bravery for attempting a Zack Snyder marathon. Other than 300 and Sucker Punch, I'm a solid meh on all of his films. Army of Dead wasn't awful though. By the way, your channel volume is kind of low. Oh, is it? It's kind of low? Let me see if I can turn it up a little bit more. See if I can turn it up. Thanks for letting me know, dude. I'm sorry about that, guys, if it was a little bit low. I did the test beforehand, and it sounded okay, but maybe I was talking at a higher volume than I was before. Thank you for letting me know about that, man. Hopefully this is a little bit better. But yeah, as far as the Zack Snyder marathon goes, it's funny that you put Sucker Punch in there, because Sucker Punch was a big mixed bag for me. 300 was okay. I did not love that movie as much as a lot of people do. Like, I've heard that movie quoted almost all of my life. A lot of people love that movie. I didn't love it. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I didn't love a Zack Snyder movie. Like, I really liked Zack Snyder's Justice League. I really liked Man of Steel. But there was nothing that I watched that I loved. So I don't love any Zack Snyder movies yet. Hopefully Rebel Moon can change that, but we'll find out. Dragon Movie Guy says, haha, best part of a bad universe. Sasha Calle sounds like The Rock in a Fast and Furious movie. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. I'm guessing you mean that like she's wooden. But I don't know. The Rock in a Fast and Furious. I like The Rock in the Fast and Furious movies. I don't know. I can't fully grasp what you mean with that comment because I don't think I agree with it. But hey, you know what? Fair enough, man. To each their own. Jason Entertainment, what's going on, Jason? Thanks for joining us tonight, my friend. He says, hey, Zach, how is it going, man? What are you planning on watching this weekend? Family Plan Wonka or Chicken Run 2? Does Chicken Run 2 come out this weekend? Does it really come out this weekend? I'm not going to lie. Up until last week when the poster dropped, I totally forgot about that movie even existing. So that comes out this weekend, huh? Interesting. I'm probably not going to watch it. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Wonka. I'm going to see the Wonka. I have plans to see. I have tickets bought and everything to go see on Thursday. So I'm very excited about that. I'm going to go with my wife. We're going to have fun. The biggest argument or the biggest central argument in our lives is I'm a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory guy. I love Gene Wilder, and she is a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory girl, and she loves Johnny Depp, and I don't, and she doesn't like Gene Wilder, so we're constantly feuding about which Willy Wonka movie is better. I want to watch Willy Wonka, but she wants to watch Charlie. I don't want to watch Charlie. She wants to watch Willy Wonka. It's a headache. It's quite tough. We have tough lives. So I'm kind of hoping that Wonka is the bridge for us to come together and be like, Timothy Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet is our Wonka. Hopefully that happens. Hopefully we're holding hands and singing Kumbaya by the end of the movie, and this feud between us can end. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's getting decent reviews, but I'm not super hopeful. All right, guys. With that, let's move on. Let's talk about topic number 3. Let's talk about topic number 3 real quick, and then we'll get back to your comments and questions. And topic number 3 is this, guys. So, some of the most anticipated movies coming up in the next couple of years are James Gunn's Avatar films. Avatar 3, 4, and 5. They're in production. They're working on them. They are coming out. Now, Avatar is an interesting box office story. The first Avatar came out in 2009, kind of out of nowhere. No one really knew anything about it, but it was such an innovation, and not just animation and live action animation hybrid and motion capture, but 3D as well, that it just became this big cultural moment in 2009, became the highest grossing movie ever at the box office, and then it just kind of fizzled out of the pulp culture zeitgeist. Not too many people would talk about Avatar shortly after it came out. Then, just last year, we had Avatar The Way of Water come out, and there was a big question going on. You know, can this match the first one? Can this have the success? It's been so long and blah, 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 blah. But then we had James Cameron come out and be like, you know, we're doing all this innovation with water technology. It's not going to look like anything you've ever seen before. The movie came out. It looked stunningly gorgeous. The advancements of the technology from 2009 to that movie was just astonishing. The movie was great. Well, the movie looked great. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good movie, but the movie looked great. And so now we're all thinking, all right, what is he going to do with Avatar 3 and 4? How on earth can he top what the visuals were in Avatar The Way of Water? Part of the fun of going to Avatar movies, for me personally, and I think many people would agree, is the innovation. What's the technology going to look like? What is James Gunn going to do? And James Gunn has talked recently in an article in GQ about what he intends to innovate with his Avatar movies going forward, and they were not the answers that I was expecting. Here's what he had to say in GQ. But when asked to tease what new technology innovation he and Lando have up their sleeves as they cross the halfway mark on Avatar 3 post-production, Cameron, the wizard who's changed the blockbusters, the wizard who's changed how blockbusters are made with practically every film he's had his name on, pivots from visual spectacle altogether. Here's what James Cameron had to say. The big creative advancement in this movie is just going to be great character depth. Read that again. The big creative advance in this movie is just going to be great character depth. We're seeing new cultures, new creatures, all the same stuff you'd expect from Avatar movies, but the whole idea of this cycle of films is to live with these people and go on this epic journey with them. So I think it's not about we're going to show you the best water VFX ever done, but you get more into the heart and soul of the characters. and there's some very interesting new characters that come in as well. This is a journey over time. It'll play out through movie 3 into movie 4 and movie 5. There's an epic cycle to the whole thing. All right, and that comes to us from GQ, and that comes to us from James Cameron himself. So, does anyone go to Avatar for the characters? I'm not gonna be that rash right away. I will say this: in Avatar: The Way of Water, I did find that James Cameron improved the characters drastically. Because in Avatar 2009, I think the movie's a spectacle. I love the third act, especially with the battle between the blue people and the military. I can't even remember what they're called. Pandorians? What are they called? I can't remember what they're called. But they're fighting with the military. It looked awesome. Avatar: The Way of Water had an epic battle scene at the end as well. And I did think that James Cameron did a good job expanding the characters, going deeper into the characters, and I liked the family angle that he gave in Avatar: The Way of Water. But with these comments, it does kind of bring up the question of, will Avatar 3 be able to match the success of Avatar 1 and 2 without the technology advancements? I mean, obviously, there's going to be some technology advancements, but if James Cameron doesn't seem like he's putting that at the helm of this movie, and I just don't know if people go to Avatar films for these characters. At least no one that I know does. Everyone is like with Avatar: The Way of Water last year when that movie came out, the big conversation was, I can't wait to see what he does. Can't wait to see the visuals. Can't wait to see how it looks. Can't wait to see just my jaw dropping from the 3D, from the visual effects. That is what people were talking about. They weren't talking about Jake. You know, they weren't talking about Natari. What's his wife's name? Zoe Saldana. They weren't talking about Zoe Saldana. They weren't talking about, the little kids in the movie. They were talking about the effects. They were talking about the look of the movie. And that movie was able to cross $2 billion. I'm still amazed at how much money Avatar: The Way of Water was able to make. Over $2 billion. It surpassed Titanic as one of the highest grossing movies of all time. It's in the top 3. It's crazy what that movie was able to do. But I don't know if the movie did that with its characters. Now, that doesn't mean that Avatar 3 is going to bomb. I'm not saying Avatar 3 and 4 and 5 are going to do terrible at the box office. I honestly still think Avatar 3 is going to make at least $1.5 billion. And knowing my history with guessing for James Cameron Avatar movies, it probably means it's going to make like $3 billion because James Cameron just totally surpasses what anyone thinks is going to happen with these box office films at the box office. But I am very interested to see, once Avatar 3 comes out, if these characters' advancements in depth and in relationships and in characterizations was strong enough in Avatar: The Way of Water to have that be why people come back for Avatar 3. And Avatar 3 is going to look great either way. So I think Avatar 3 will be completely fine. But it is interesting. It's interesting to me that is what he's focusing on. And I'm also, honestly, kind of happy to hear that that's what he's focusing on. Because like I said, in Way of Water, I like that they advanced on that. I like that they made these characters more interesting to me than they were in the 2009 original film. So if they're going to keep doing that, and they're going to bring the spectacle, and they're going to bring the visuals, and they're going to make these characters even better and more compelling and interesting, I think Avatar 3 and 4 are going to be some really, really special movies. I'm just curious to see if the advancements in technology is all there is for the casual audience to go to Avatar films, and if the fact that he's not talking about them is going to hurt the film when it comes out. But we'll see what happens later on down the line. The question goes to you guys, though. What do you guys think of James Cameron's comments about the characters in Avatar being the focus of the third one and not really the visual spectacle or the innovation of the technology? Does that excite you for Avatar 3? Do you like these characters already, or are you thinking, well, I've already seen how good the visuals can get in Avatar: Way of Water, so I'm not really looking forward to Avatar 3 anymore? Comment down below and let me know all your thoughts and opinions, guys. I would love to hear them. And with that said, let's see what you guys are saying about this in the comments. All right, so back to the chat. Here we go. Movie reviews with Ryan Lane says, I've got my top 5 and my top 5 bottom DCU movies list ready, and I can't wait to share on Saturday. Can't wait to hear it, man. Can't wait to chat with you. Can't wait to get that going with you. And guys, once again, if you want to join us for that show for Members Talk Live on Saturday, it is our last show for the year as well. We'll be back on January 6th with Members Talk Live, but all the information is down in the link below. in the description, so you can check that out and become a member today and join us. And we'd love to chat DC with you guys on Saturday, or you can just watch it live by jumping on the $2.99 tier. Dragon Movie Guy says there's no way Zachary Levi would throw shade at James Gunn. He would never betray the Zachation network like that. Yeah, my fellow Zach, he would never do that. My fellow Zach would never do that. Zachs unite. Zach sticks together. No, I think Zachary Levi would probably have to be the dumbest man in the world to attack James Gunn at this moment, who's running DC. That's why I don't think they would ever. I don't think Zachary Levi would ever do that, and I don't think he did do that. So that's why I think the comments have been taken way out of proportion. Dakota Man Movies, what's going on, Dakota? Thanks for joining us, man. Great to see you in here again. I hope you're doing well. Says, hey, Zach, just finished rewatching Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I forgot how good that movie is. I'm excited for Wonka tomorrow night. Thank you. Tell my wife that. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is a good movie. I love that movie. That movie used to freak me out as a kid. When that kid fell into the chocolate river and got sucked up that tube, I had nightmares as a kid about that. I hated the thought of being, stuck in that confined space like that. It was terrifying to me. But now I love the movie. I love the movie so much. So I hope Wonka can deliver the same kind of magical feeling that movie does. Dakota Man Movies goes on to say, I'm rewatching the DCEU currently for the last time before the reboot. I'm currently on Aquaman. You still got a way to go, my man. I salute you. You still got a way to go. But that's awesome, dude. Yeah, I love how you say one last time before the reboot. Like you're never going to go back to the movies after the reboot again. You might not be alone in that. Toxic Gamer 331 says, Olo, Zach, how's your day and week been? Well, thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for joining us, Toxic Gamer. Always great to have you in here. And, yeah, my day and my week have been good. They've been pretty good. I've been enjoying them. Toxic Gamer 331 says, on Saturday, my sister's boyfriend proposed to her, and she said, yes, let's go. Well, congratulations to your sister, man. That's awesome. And looks like you're going to get a brother-in-law. So that's awesome for you, too, man. Toxic Gamer 331 says Chicken Run 2 comes out Friday on Netflix. Crazy. That honestly blows my mind. Is anyone excited for this? I mean, you guys can tell me in the chat. Are you guys excited for this? Are you excited for Chicken Run 2? I'm not even like a huge fan of the first Chicken Run. I think it's okay. I definitely don't hate it, but I also haven't seen it in like a really long time. But Chicken Run 2, I haven't been asking for it. Have you guys been asking for it? I would love to see it in the chat if you guys were. Dragon Movie Guy says, love Tim Burton, but no CGI Oompa Loompas. I mean, the Oompa Loompas in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which I'm not a big Tim Burton fan, to be honest with you. I really do not like a number of his movies. But his style and stuff just doesn't work for me. The Oompa Loompas in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, though, it was kind of impressive how they got one guy to do it. It is kind of... I don't know. It is kind of entertaining-ish. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to give my wife some brownie points there by saying that. I prefer the Oompa Loompas in Willy and the Wonka. Willy and the Wonka? Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I think I like the design more. They feel more otherworldly. They feel more fantastical. I like that they're played by different people. I like the makeup on them. I like the costume. I love that Hugh Grant is going to be rocking that old-fashioned Oompa Loompa style. That makes me very happy that they went that route. And I'm looking forward to seeing Hugh Grant play an Oompa Loompa in this movie, honestly. He was one of the pleasant surprises of the trailer, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in the role. Dragon Movie Guy says James Gunn is doing an Avatar movie too. Wow, did I say James Gunn again? I do that all the time. Whenever I mean to say James Cameron, I always say James Gunn because we talk about James Gunn so damn much on this show. I'm pretty sure I've said James Gunn's name every week on this show for at least 3 or 4 months. So yeah, my bad. My bad. Nathan's Random Movie says, I do not think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is good because it gave Willy Wonka parental issues. Yeah, I didn't need that. I really didn't need that in the movie, man. I agree with you there. Movie Reviews with Ryan Lane says, if the Avatar sequels are as good as The Way of Water, I say let James Cameron make as many as he wants. Yeah, I liked Avatar The Way of Water quite a bit. I think it was in my top 10 favorite movies of last year. I can't remember, but that was a great theater experience. I thought he improved upon every aspect of Avatar from the first film. So if he can do that again with Avatar 3 and Avatar 4 and Avatar 5, I'm all for it, man. I'm looking forward to seeing them. But I will admit, though, like, some of the excitement I get for these Avatar films is that innovation is what is he going to do next with the technology. And the fact that he's saying we're not going to do that kind of makes me a little bit sad. Oh, we got a super chat in here. I didn't even see that. I'm so sorry, man. That didn't come through. We got a super chat from Jason Entertainment, a $4.99 super chat. Dude, thank you so much for that. That was so nice of you. He says, I loved Depp's Wonka, but can't wait for Wonka 2023. Dude, I'm glad that you liked Johnny Depp's Wonka. I will give Johnny Depp credit for going a different route with his Wonka than Gene Wilder went with Wonka. He made it his own. Good for Johnny Depp. Just personally, it didn't work for me. But I am looking forward to seeing Timothée Chalamet's Wonka in 2023's version on tomorrow. I'm going to see it tomorrow, so that's awesome. And, dude, once again, thank you so much for that, man. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. That was super generous of you, man. And for the love and support of this channel. I greatly appreciate it. Wait, I feel like I missed this question. Yeah, I did. Nathan's Random Movies says, to be honest, Avatar 1 is just okay enough, but it felt familiar, and Avatar 2 was a little bit better, but it slowed in the middle when it turned into a Pandora water documentary. I mean, that movie was 3 hours long. Avatar Way of Water was 3 hours, and you felt it. I felt it. I felt that 3 hours when I was sitting there. It was a long movie. I hope Avatar 3 is not that long, to be honest with you. I really hope he slims it down a little bit. Yeah, no, Avatar 1 was definitely familiar. Avatar 2 was familiar, too. Avatar 2 was basically like Free Willy. It was basically a Free Willy movie, which is fun. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than the first one, for sure. And hopefully it can continue with Avatar 3. Nathan Trying to Movie says, in Avatar 2, what was weird to me was that Neytiri and Jake were more like side characters as they don't really have arcs, and the lead of the film that you are following is their youngest son. Yeah, I think that's probably going to continue as well in the sequels. I think James Gunn really... I heard it that time. I think James Cameron is really going to want to focus on the younger generation going forward. I'm sure he'll age them up. We'll probably start to follow them more than we're following Jake and Neytiri. And honestly, I'm kind of fine with Jake and Neytiri taking the backseat roles as the parents. I thought that worked pretty well for Avatar Way of Water. And if we're going to watch these characters grow up, I'm really interested to see what James Gunn is going to do with these... Said it again. James Cameron. I'm really looking forward to seeing what James Cameron is going to do with these characters as they grow and advance in life. And throughout all the sequels. Dragon Movie Guy says, by the time Avatar 3 comes out in 2074. Yeah, no kidding. No, in the article, James Gunn... Oh my gosh. I'm seriously... In the article, James Cameron, oh, this is driving me nuts. Now that you pointed it out, I can't stop it. Okay, in the article, James Cameron did say that Avatar 3 is still on the path, ready to come out in 2025. So it's not going to be 2074, but that's really funny. By the time Avatar 3 comes out in 2074 and Avatar 4 comes out in 2135, CGI will finally have caught up with the virtual AI James Cameron's vision. Yeah. That's good. That's good, man. I can't even imagine where the movies are going to be in those years. 2074, I'll probably still be here. I'll probably be 75 years old when that, so I'll probably still be here. Can't wait to see what those movies are going to look like, man. That's crazy. You're probably not far off. Toxic Gamer 331 says, have you watched the Kung Fu Panda 4 trailer yet, Zach? I've not watched it yet. Maybe I'll do a trailer reaction to that after the show's done tonight. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But no, I have not seen the trailer yet. Very curious, though, because I am a fan of the Kung Fu Panda movies. I think the Kung Fu Panda movies are a very underrated animated trilogy. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with the fourth one. And if they can make it like a Toy Story 4 and continue the trend of great animated movies. Jason Entertainment says, didn't watch the first one yet, but I am interested. Are you talking about the Avatar movies? You haven't watched the first Avatar movie yet? I'd recommend it. It's fun to watch. Dakota Man Movie says James Cameron will make the top 5 highest grossing movies of all time with Avatar. Yeah. No, dude, honestly, you may be joking. You may be maybe just I don't know, being silly. But do not count James Cameron out to do that. James Cameron having the whole top 5 box office movies of all time be Avatar, Avatar 2, Avatar 3, Avatar 4, Avatar 5, knocking you'd have to knock Endgame. That would be so Endgame's like 2.8 billion dollars. So you'd have to hit over 2.8 billion dollars 3 times, or I guess technically 3 times to get that off the man, that'd be tricky. I mean, I'm not going to put it past James Cameron. I'm not going to bet against James Cameron doing that. But, yeah, that's a tall feat. But he could do it. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be him. Toxic Gamer 331 says, I like the first Chicken Run, but I don't think the sequel is going to be good. But hopefully it ends up being good. I have no expectations, dude. If it's good, that's just a bonus for me. Honestly, because I have no expectations for that movie. When I check it out, hopefully I like it. Okay, we'll take this comment, and then we'll go on to our last topic of the night, and then we'll just take your comments and questions for the rest of the night. Toxic with 331 says, Zach, what Home Alone movie do you think has the best traps? What Home Alone movie do I think has the best? Well, the one that has the most grounded traps is definitely the first movie, which I probably would... That's tricky, because the first movie is more grounded. It's more believable in a way. Home Alone 2, though, is so cartoony and goes so far into the cartooniness that its traps are pretty hysterical. I mean, I bust a gut every time Marv gets hit with one of those bricks. every time Kevin throws one of those bricks and it smacks Daniel Stern in the forehead, I lose it. I think it's so funny. And then you got him falling through the floor. You got him turning into a freaking skeleton. You've got the freaking the tool chest falling down the stairs. That was the sound of a tool chest falling down the stairs. I've loved that scene ever since I was a kid. That is so funny to me. Home Alone 2 is definitely a contender. But you know what? Honestly, and this might be nostalgia talking, I don't know. Home Alone 3, those traps aren't bad. I mean, the movie itself isn't great, but the traps in Home Alone 3, I mean, when he takes the flooring out of the little elevator and that chick falls butt first down the entire shaft, that used to horrify me as a kid. When they're jumping from the top window onto the trampoline that he's put under the pool and they fall into the pool, that was always fun as a kid. The chest of books falling on their heads was always... Home Alone 3 actually has some pretty underrated traps. I don't think the movie's as good as the first 2 Home Alone movies, but the trap sequences in Home Alone 3, I think kind of stand up. They definitely get cartoony like Home Alone 2 did, but Home Alone 3 is a little bit underrated with its traps, I'm going to say. All right, guys, and with that, we're going to take a quick break from the comments and questions for our one last topic of the night. And our last topic of the night, guys, is going to be this. Deadpool 3 has been a huge conversation around here for the past couple months. Very excited for Deadpool 3. Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine. They're back up and running again after the actor strike, after the writer's strike is now finished. And one of the big question marks of Deadpool 3 has been Vanessa, the love interest to Ryan Reynolds, Wade Wilson, Deadpool. Vanessa. She died in Deadpool 2, and then in the credits of Deadpool 2, they kind of did this fun little romp where Deadpool went through time, stopped her death. But ever since Deadpool 2 ended, the question has been, well, do the credits count? Are they canon? Are they going to bring Vanessa back in Deadpool 3? Then Marvel bought Deadpool 3, Disney bought Fox, and now Deadpool 3 is in the MCU. So then the question was, are they bringing Vanessa over to the MCU? And there's really been radio silence on the whole situation up until a couple days ago when Vanessa herself confirmed that she will indeed be in Deadpool 3 and that she's already shot her Deadpool 3 scenes. This comes to us from comicbookmovie.com, and they had to say, Morena Baccarin first played Vanessa in Deadpool, and while she was originally supposed to permanently die in Deadpool 3, so that's interesting, she was supposed to permanently die in Deadpool 3, her fate was changed during reshoots following a negative response from test audiences. So that's interesting. The post-credit, or the credit sequences of Deadpool 2, where he goes through time and saves Vanessa, is all due to reshoots from negative test audiences. I didn't know that. It goes on to say, the fact that Fox nearly fridged the character is hard to forgive, but Baccarin is now confirmed to return in Deadpool 3. Screen Rant recently caught up with the actress, and she teased a new approach to Wade Wilson and Vanessa's relationship in the upcoming threequel. Here's what she had to say. I think it's really cool that they are such well-met characters and that their lives, you can see them in and out of each other's lives constantly. The comics are the same way. I think that the franchise and Ryan and the director, they've done a really great job of always reinventing that relationship and making it interesting, but maintaining the core that keeps them always coming back to each other. So I think there's a little bit more of that in this film. My work is finished on the film. And that comes to us from Morena Baccarin herself. So there you have it, guys. Vanessa is indeed going to be in Deadpool 3. The question is, though, how is Vanessa going to be in Deadpool 3? Because I've seen some people out there, they have this theory that, did my mic just unplug? I think my mic might have just unplugged. Nope, looks like we're good. They have this theory that Vanessa is going to be a variant in this one, that they're going to keep her death permanent in Deadpool 2, and Deadpool is going to find a new Vanessa, maybe in the form of an X-Men or something, another variant of Vanessa, and that's how they're going to bring her into the movie. And I think that theory is definitely interesting. I think there's some merit to that theory, but honestly, my suspicion is that Vanessa is probably going to be, since she already finished her filming her scenes, I suspect that her character is going to be in the beginning of the movie. It's going to be Deadpool in his normal life with Vanessa after Deadpool 2, and then he will get sucked into the MCU and she will not follow with him. And maybe he'll find another variant of her in there. Maybe that theory can come to be, but I definitely think her role in this is going to be very limited. I'm honestly amazed by just how well the stars have aligned for Deadpool 2 to end the way it did as he's now going into the MCU. Because when they made Deadpool 2, not only did Disney not own Fox, not only did Disney not now have this character, Disney had not established multiverse yet. Disney's Marvel Studios has not established the TVA yet. And the way that it so perfectly ends Deadpool 2 with Deadpool time traveling and going through time, and how you can set that up for that to connect to Marvel's multiverse and even maybe connect to the TVA, because if Deadpool's messing with time, the TVA can always come in and be like, hey, you know what, Deadpool? You ain't supposed to be doing that. That's not what was supposed to happen. We're going to take you out of this timeline. And I don't know, just... it's a miracle how well those events have lined up to the fact that Deadpool 2's ending will not feel that jarring where if they go that route with Deadpool 3. And I think that also allows the character of Vanessa to come in as well at a really good point, because that whole question of is Deadpool 2's credits canon or not, they can easily be canon now. They can easily be real. Deadpool did time travel, saved her, stopped all the events from Deadpool 2 from ever happening, and then maybe that leads into his adventures in the MCU. Aside from that, aside from the speculation, aside from the theories, I'm happy to see her back, to be honest with you. I'm not going to act like I'm like the biggest fanboy or that I love the Vanessa and Wade relationship in the Deadpool movies. They're definitely a sweet spot of those movies. They're definitely the part of the movie that adds heart to these crazy over-the-top R-rated bloody romps that Deadpool movies are. So I like that core relationship will continue and probably will still be the heart of Deadpool 3. I think honestly that will benefit the movie drastically. So I'm happy to see her back. I'm happy to see what they're going to do with her with Deadpool 3. It just kind of makes the movie feel more complete as a Deadpool movie, knowing that she's going to be back. But what do you guys think of this? Are you guys excited to see her back as Vanessa? Do you care about the Vanessa character at all? Or could you take her or leave her? Comment down below and let me know all your thoughts and opinions about this, guys. Do you think she's going to show up as a variant? And without further ado, let's take a look at what you guys are saying. And for the remainder of the show, guys, for the last show of 2023, that is, We are going to take your live comments and questions for however long you guys want to go for. We can be here for half an hour. We can be here for 2 hours. We can be here for 15 more minutes. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we can talk about. If you can be the topics tonight, it can be anything else in life. It can be anything else in movies that you want to talk about. I'm just here to take your comments and questions. We're going to end the year strong with your comments and questions, guys. And enough of me. Let's get to you guys and what you guys are saying. My neighbors just made a big, loud noise, and it freaked the heck out of me. Sorry. Nathan's Random Movies says, best and worst movie of the year. For me, best would be Mission Impossible 7, and the worst would be Exorcist Believer. For me, the best movie of the year is probably Holdovers. For me personally, I cannot get enough of that movie. I've already seen it 3 times. I love that movie. The worst movie for me, I don't know, man. I mean, it's hard to say it because I haven't seen that many bad movies. I try to avoid those as best as I can. Napoleon really let me down. No, I'm not saying it's the worst movie of the year definitively, but as far as my year goes, it was pretty disappointing. It was a pretty big letdown, to be honest with you. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with that one a little bit. Movie Reviews with Ryan Lane says, LOL, there are some reports saying the rough cut for Avatar 3 is 9 hours long. Probably clickbait, but God help us if that's true. There's no way. Okay, here's the thing. You can make Avatar 9 hours long. You can shoot the movie, you can get your assembly line, you can put it all in order. Wow, we have 9 hours of footage here. No way is that movie getting released. Maybe down the line on a 3 or 4 disc set on the collector's edition. You are not putting a 9-hour movie into theaters. Like, never. The theaters would crumble. Their business would go down if you made a 9-hour movie. You can't how you can show like maybe one showing, maybe half of one show. You can show one showing of that movie a day. And that's just not going to work for the studios. That's just not going to work for the theaters. There's no way that the finished product of Avatar 3 that we see in theaters is going to be 9 hours long. I think 4 hours is pushing it. Like, Killers of the Flower Moon was 3.5 hours long. I think that's the longest movie I've ever sat and watched in the movie theater. And I felt that 3.5 hour runtime, man. My butt felt that 3.5 hour runtime. But yeah, 9 hours, no way. But I wouldn't put James Cameron past putting Avatar 3 at like 4 hours, maybe 3.5 hours. I hope it's not that long, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did it. Jason Entertainment says, in fact, I liked it just because it was actually the first one I watched. Growing up, I didn't know there was a previous Wonka, so that's why. Oh, I see. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You liked Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because it was the first one you watched. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, look, nostalgia plays into a lot of what we watch, man. I mean, look, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory definitely is nostalgic for me, so that's probably why I have it as my favorite. The High School Musical, the series. I thought that show was not for me and was kind of cringy and wasn't it wasn't targeted for me. But I like the High School Musical movies. And I like the High School Musical movies a lot because of nostalgia, because I grew up with them, because I'm so attached to them. In reality, though, the High School Musical movies are probably even cheesier and probably even cornier and a bit lamer than the High School Musical, the series is in reality. But that's not my reality. That's not what I perceive. I perceive those movies as masterpieces and as great because I grew up and they're nostalgic. And that High School Musical, the series is crap because it's new and I didn't grow up with it and it's taking something I grew up with and doing something different with it. So nostalgia is a funny thing. And nostalgia definitely plays a part in how we view movies and TV. Don't let anyone tell you differently. So I can totally understand why that is. And there's nothing wrong with that either, by the way. If Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is your favorite, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is your favorite, and that's totally cool, man. Toxic Gamer 331 says, also, Zach, what are your thoughts on the theory of Kevin from Home Alone being Jigsaw from Saw? I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's very funny. There's no merit to it, obviously, but I do get a kick out of that theory. And I get a kick out of the videos that people have created trying to explain that theory. I think it's hilarious. I think it's far-fetching, but it weirdly works, and I think it's kind of fun to play around with. Toxic Gamer 331 says, Zach, since Christmas is coming up, what is the best Christmas gifts you have ever gotten? Ooh, that's a good question. The best Christmas gifts I've ever gotten. Um, try my birthday gifts and my Christmas gifts kind of blend together a little bit. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Well, last year I got Top Gun Maverick on Steelbook for my brother, and that was very awesome. That was very nice. I think I got the full set of Friends, the TV show, on Blu-ray on Christmas one year, and that was amazing. Man, that's a thinker of a question. I got a lot of Friends stuff for Christmas. I was really into the Friends TV show. Still am really into the Friends TV show. I got so much trivia games. I got so much of this of Friends, that of Friends. That was mostly all my Christmases from middle school to adulthood. And yeah, there was some good stuff in there. I can't think off the top of my head though what the best gift is, and there might be people watching who gave me gifts, so I don't want to single anybody out or make people feel bad. So I'm just gonna leave it at those two. Those are the ones that pop into my head at the moment. But it was a good question, man. Thanks for asking that. Dragon Movie Guy says, any plans to watch The Boys in the Boat about the University of Washington men's crew team that went to the 1936 Olympics, directed by Clooney, Oscar buzz? I do want to watch that. I've heard of it. I have not seen it yet, obviously. I just don't know where to watch it. It's not in my theater. It's not anywhere around me. Is it? I haven't even checked if it's like a streaming movie or not. There's so many different avenues. Is it Netflix? Is it Amazon? Is it Peacock? Is it Paramount? Is it Disney? Is it this? Is it in theaters? Excuse me. There's so much to go through for movies now. Kind of sucks. There's just so much out there. But yeah, definitely. I'm curious to see it. I'm interested in seeing it. I do plan to see it before. I mean, I think it's nominated for Golden Globes, and I think it's nominated for Critics' Choice as well. So it's most likely going to get an Oscar nomination. So I definitely want to check it out before it goes to the Oscars. Nathan's Random Movie says, do you think James Gunn, Cameron, will make these Avatar movies shorter than I think they need to be? That's really funny that you threw Gunn in there. That's really funny. Do I think that he'll make them shorter? Knowing James Cameron, probably not. I do think James Cameron's a little bit pretentious with his filmmaking. I do think he finds himself to be the greatest thing of all time to happen to film sometimes. So I don't think he'll want to cut down like much of what he shot and much of what he did and wrote. That's just how it comes across to me. And the fact that Avatar 2 was 3 hours long, I could see Avatar 3, 4, and 5 also getting that treatment, maybe even being a little bit longer. I think Avatar 5 will be super long. I think Avatar 5, because it will be ending everything, I suspect that's going to be a really long movie. But I don't think they'll get shorter. I really don't. I think they need to in some ways, but I don't think they will. Toxic Gamer 331 says, yeah, I think Home Alone 3 does have some pretty good traps. Yeah, like when you think back on them, they're not bad. Like they're pretty consistent with Home Alone 1 and 2. The movie itself, though, like I said, I do think is not great. I don't think it's awful, but it's definitely not as good as the other Home Alone movies. Well, Home Alone 1 and 2, all the rest are just disposable. But the traps in Home Alone 3, actually, not bad. I'd go back and watch a couple more of those. Movie Reviews with Ryan Lane says, if they bring back Deadpool's girlfriend, give her something to do other than being dead or being kidnapped. She's a good actress and deserves more interesting material. I completely agree with that. That's why I think it'd be kind of interesting if she was a variant. If they did make her a variant and made her along for the journey and made her along with Deadpool and Wolverine and had her doing stuff with the heroes this time around. The only reason why I don't think they'll do that is because she says she's already done shooting all her stuff. So I think she was probably in like a couple scenes at the beginning of the movie, maybe a couple scenes at the end of the movie with Deadpool, and then that's gonna be all she really does. I don't think she'll be in a big chunk of the movie, unfortunately. But yeah, she's a good actress, and I wish that they would give her more to do. The story just doesn't always need it, I guess. Toxic Game with 331 says, what Home Alone trap do you think you would be dead the most, and the one you definitely think you wouldn't die? Well, if someone threw bricks at my head from the top of a building, I think I'd be pretty dead. The feathers is easy. That's the easiest one to pick, right? If I walked into a room and I got glue on my face and then a bunch of feathers blew into my face, that wouldn't kill me. I don't think I would die from the Tonka trucks and cars on the bottom of the stairs. I don't think that would kill me. The paint cans would probably do some damage. The one that would kill me for sure, though, is the bricks. the bricks and also getting my head lit on fire and then dunking it in a toilet full of gasoline. Actually, you know what? That might be the one. The head on fire and then dunking it into a toilet full of gasoline. I think that would kill me. I think that would be the one that kill me. And the one that wouldn't kill me would be the feathers, easily. Toxic Gamer 331 says, what are some other movies that have come out this year that you haven't seen yet that you're planning on watching before the year ends? I want to watch Talk to Me. I haven't seen Talk to Me yet. Definitely want to watch that. I want to see Dream Scenario. I haven't seen that one yet. It's not playing anywhere near me yet. I've seen a lot of what I've wanted to see, to be honest with you. There's a couple things that would be like surprises and pleasant surprises, but for the most part, I think I've seen what I set out to see and that I wanted to see. So Talk to Me has my interest and stuff like that, but other than that, yeah, I think I've seen most of what I wanted to see, and there might be some other stuff here and there that will be pleasant surprises, but nothing's on my radar at the moment besides Talk to Me. Dragon Movie Guy says, weird that we finally get Deadpool into the MCU, and it's the only MCU movie coming out in 2024. Yeah, crazy. I mean, I think it's for their own good. I think it's for their own good because Deadpool 3 being the only MCU movie coming out in 2024, it will be good for them because it's Deadpool. It's Deadpool. And also, it won't be viewed massively as an MCU movie. It'll be viewed as a Deadpool movie. And people love Deadpool. And people love Deadpool movies. Some people won't even know that Deadpool's in the MCU. Well, depending on how the trailers play. Some people won't even know that Deadpool is in the MCU, that they're going to an MCU movie. They'll just think, hey, Deadpool 3. I love Deadpool 2 from all the way back in 2018. So, yeah, let's go see Deadpool 3. It's been a while. So I think Deadpool 3 is going to make a lot of money for Marvel. I think it's going to be exactly what Marvel needs, especially after this box office year. Which, look, I know the Marvels bombed pretty badly. I mean, really badly. But people are acting like Marvel's in like the sky is falling scenario, and they're really not. I mean, aside from the Marvels, like you look at like Doctor Strange, Multiverse Madness last year almost did $1 billion. It did really good. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, yeah, it dropped a little bit. It was like just about $500 million. I think it did like $480 million, something like that. But then you had Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That did over $800 million at the box office. And then they had the Marvels, which I think the Marvels might have crawled over $200 million, but like just barely. So that's horrible, especially for Marvel standards. But it's their only one. It's their only one that's done. It's not like every movie is doing that. The last movie, Guardians, made over $800 million. This one, it definitely did poorly. But the sky is not falling over at Marvel at the moment. And a lot of people online are acting like Marvel's already dead. They're far from dead. But Deadpool 3 is definitely not going to hurt to be the only movie out there. Deadpool 3 is going to help them tremendously, I think. Dragon Movie Guy says, I love the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Morena Baccarin. Even if this ends up being the wrong choice, it's still a risk worth taking for that chemistry. Yeah, I think it'll end up being the right choice. I think it'll go well for them. I think it'll go well for the movie, and I think that it's going to be, like I said, that's kind of the heart of the first two Deadpool movies, and it's always good to have heart in your movies. So I think there will continue to be the heart of Deadpool 3, and I think it'll just make the movie better. The Obithorian Alliance from Two Perspectives. What's going on, Jacob and Luke over there? Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you again for having me on Sunday. I had a blast talking with you guys, and thank you for joining us tonight. They say, do you like that we are not getting as much MCU content next year? I was just talking about this. Yes, I think it's smart. I think it's brilliant on Marvel's part. Take some time off. Put out Deadpool 3. Get your $1 billion from Deadpool 3. Get back on track a little bit with the audiences, and take the time to perfect and make your product that's coming out in 2025 the best it can be, so that once people see Deadpool 3 and are like, holy crap, this was in the MCU, Marvel is back, can't wait for the next thing they put out, you have good product to put out. So I think it's great. I think it's a great decision. Toxic Gamer 331 says, what's a movie that whenever someone says they like it, you go facepalm? Probably Son of the Mask. I just hate that movie so much. Because I love Jim Carrey's mask so much. Again, nostalgia. But no, yeah, probably if people say they like Son of the Mask, I kind of get a facepalm reaction like that. Other than that, I try not to be that kind of person, just because I didn't like something doesn't mean other people can't like it. I get a little bit like that with the first Venom movie, to be honest with you. A lot of people really like that first Venom movie, and I don't know, man. I just don't get it. But, People are going to like what they like. I love that they like what they like. It's harmless for people to like the movies that they like. So I try not to get, upset about it or annoyed, I guess, even about it. I just, hey, good for you. I'm glad you enjoyed that movie. I personally didn't. But if someone says they like Son of the Mask, I can't help but kind of be like, oh my gosh, really? Yeah. The Oberthorian Alliance from Two Perspectives says, hope your week is going well. Thank you, guys. I hope your week is going well as well. It is going well, by the way. Dragon Movie Guy says, since Die Hard is a Christmas movie, do you watch Die Hard as part of a Christmas movie marathon? Honestly, no. And that's not because I don't think Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Honestly, I could go either way with the argument. It's kind of fun to poke fun at my buddy Zach Guller because he's so adamant that it's not a Christmas movie. I can go either way. It's not a Christmas movie. It is a Christmas movie. I think there's arguments for both. I think I more so land, though, on it being a Christmas movie. Just because it's an action movie, I feel like that's the bias. You can't be a Christmas movie and an action movie. And I'm like, yeah, you can. And I think Die Hard, even though it's R-rated and bloody and all that stuff, I think it does fall into the Christmas category. I don't personally have it in my Christmas movie marathon, though, because I personally do prefer watching Christmas movies that are more cheerful, that aren't so violent, and I watch a lot of Christmas movies with my family. I'll watch a Christmas movie here and there by myself sometimes, but for the most part, Christmas movies are family gatherings. They're family get-together times where we all sit around, we have our hot cocoa, the snow is falling, it's a perfect time. And it's just my favorite time of the year for that reason. But we like watching Home Alone, Elf, Santa Claus, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Christmas Vacation. Like, we like watching those kind of Christmas movies, the ones that make you feel good and warm. We don't put on Die Hard. I'll put on Die Hard, but I do mostly watch Die Hard outside of the Christmas seasons, to be honest with you. Just being honest. But, yeah. I know a lot of people who do watch it around Christmas time, and I have no arguments for them. Dakota Man Movie says Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Oh, well, there you go. There's one of them. And you know what? Like I said, I can see the argument for both sides. I really can. I think there's Christmas elements to it that if they were in any other movie besides the action movie, they would be considered a Christmas movie. But because Die Hard is an R-rated action movie with guns and violence and blood, all of a sudden it doesn't qualify as a Christmas movie. I think there's an argument for both, but that's why I kind of lean to Christmas movie. But hey, to each their own, man. Like I was just saying, I don't really even watch it on Christmas time. Toxic with 331 says, Zach, what is your 3 picks for the worst Christmas movies? The worst Christmas movies? Oof. I mean, all the Hallmark movies. You can just say the Hallmark movies in there. As far as Christmas movies that I did not like Falling for Christmas with Lindsay Lohan last year. That was not one for me. I did not like that movie. That's a good question. I don't watch a lot of bad Christmas movies. I don't like Fred Claus personally. I really don't like Fred Claus. So I guess I would put Fred Claus in there, personally. And for my last one, probably the Star Wars Holiday Special. I'm going to throw the Star Wars Holiday Special in there because that's awful. And that movie's like an hour and a half, so it's definitely an hour. It's definitely a movie. It's movie time. But yeah, I'll do those 3 for now. Oh, one thing I am planning on, I want to watch before the end of the year, going back to that question, is there's this documentary that came out called Disturbance in the Force. And it's a documentary about the making and the conception of the Star Wars Holiday Special with interviews of people who worked on the special. I'm really interested in watching that. So that's a movie I want to watch before the end of the year, too. The Oberthorian Alliance from Two Perspectives says, have you been watching Invincible? I have not been watching Invincible. And first of all, I haven't dedicated the time to watch Invincible. I've just been doing so many other things. And my brother watched the first half of Invincible. First of all, he said it was like a part 1, so he's like, you can just wait for the conclusion of the season to come out next year. But he's watching it, and we both loved Invincible season 1. We watched it together. We raved about it. We talked about it every week. We loved Invincible season 1. He's not liking Invincible season 2, and that kind of breaks my heart because we can't talk like he doesn't. He's not liking it. He's told me don't waste your time on it. It's not very good. And I've heard other people say that it is good. I've seen some other people online saying it's pretty great. It's just as good as season 1, if not better. But yeah, because my brother's not really into it, I'm not really that interested in checking it out anytime soon, to be honest with you. But it kind of sucks because I was really looking forward to seeing what they were going to do with season 2. And I'll still check it out eventually. It fell off my priority list. Toxic Gamer 331 says, I think Home Alone 3 is okay. Not as good as the first two by a mile, though. Completely agree with you, man. Movie Reviews with Ryan Lane says, I'm signing off now. See you on Saturday. Well, I'll see you Saturday, man. Thank you for joining us for the show. Thank you for joining us for the show the whole year round, man. It was made better because you were a part of it, and I appreciate you, Ryan. Have a great night, man. And a happy holidays. But I'll see you Saturday, so I guess I'll tell you that later. Toxic Gamer 331 says, also the Ghost one, too, from the 5th movie, whatever it's called, is super avoidable and stupid. Oh, my gosh. Holiday Heist? You're talking about Home Alone Holiday Heist. Yeah, that's... as bad as Home Sweet Home Alone was, Holiday Heist might be the worst Home Alone movie. Nah, 4. 4 is pretty bad. I don't know. They're all pretty bad. Toxic Gamer 331 says, have you seen the original Black Christmas, Zach? Planning on watching this season, or at least try it? Or at least I'll try it. No, I've never seen it. Never seen the original Black Christmas or the remake, or any of the Black Christmases for that matter. Dragon Movie Guy says, do you think with Ryan Reynolds in the MCU, the next Avengers movie will come down to Nebula's internet getting screwed up by Man Mobile? That's funny. I like that. No, in all honesty, though, in the next Avengers movie, they need to have Deadpool in it. I honestly think, first of all, my theory for the next Avengers movie, because a big conversation going around the Avengers is who's in the Avengers. We don't know who's in the Avengers. When are they going to tell us who's in the Avengers? I think Avengers Kang Dynasty or Avengers, whatever they end up calling it, I think Avengers is going to start with a new threat coming, whether it's Kang, whether it's something else. They're going to do something. The world's going to look, oh crap, we need the Avengers. We don't have the Avengers anymore. And they're actually going to, kind of like in the first Avengers movie, they're going to assemble the Avengers within the Avengers movie. And that's when we're going to get all the new characters interlocking, interacting, getting together in the first movie. And then something will happen. There'll be a part 2 in Secret Wars and stuff like that. But I don't think we're going to know who's in the Avengers until the next Avengers movie comes out. And that's when they'll assemble. But if you have Deadpool in there, if you get Deadpool into that next Avengers movie, I think that Avengers movie then has a chance to make $1 billion. I at the moment, even though the brand is very still popular and recognizable, because you don't have Captain America, Iron Man, the OG Avengers, when people think of the Avengers, those are the characters they think of. Now that those characters are gone and you don't have that association with the Avengers, I think that the Avengers at this moment maybe make $600 to $800 million. Maybe worldwide make $600 to $800 million by the time everything's said and done. But if you get Deadpool in there, that movie goes over to $1 billion. I think so. That's just my belief. And you want to keep your Avengers $1 billion franchise a $1 billion franchise. So while that joke is funny, they need Deadpool in there. Toxic Gamer 331 says, I think the first Venom is okay, but the second one I think is an improvement, though. I enjoyed the second one more than the first one. I thought the second one did the goofy buddy romp better than the first Venom did. I think the first Venom is very tonally all over the place, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And Woody Harrelson as Carnage was a way more interesting and more fun villain than whatever the business guy in the first Venom was. Dakota Man Movie says, what are some of your biggest movie hot takes? Oh, man. My biggest movie hot take. I'll give you one for this year. I'll give you two. While Barbie is a fun movie, I don't think it's that great. I don't think it's that good, Barbie. I think Barbie has a multitude of issues to it, and I think Barbie is a movie that will be known as a cultural moment, kind of like Avatar in 2009, but we'll all move on from Barbie very quickly. I think once the excitement and the smoke is settled, I think Barbie's gonna be kind of forgettable. I don't think it's that good. Secondly, connected to Barbie, and I enjoyed the movie. I had fun with it. I had some laughs with it. And I liked the character of Ken. But everyone's talking about Ryan Gosling getting his Oscar nomination as Best Actor for Ken. Honestly, if Ryan Gosling can get an Oscar nomination for playing Ken in Barbie, then every actor who's ever played a dumb bro character on a Disney Channel original movie should get an Oscar nomination. Because Ryan Gosling's Ken was the equivalent to me of a dumb character from Disney Channel. I've seen the same kind of performances. I've seen the same kind of acting in a Disney Channel original movie from some of those dumb characters. Now that might be a little bit harsh because Ryan Gosling is definitely better than a Disney Channel original movie performance. Don't get me wrong. Ryan Gosling is better than Disney Channel actors. But the way that he played the character, I've seen that kind of character played the exact same way in like Teen Beach Movie on Disney Channel. So this whole thing about him getting an Oscar nomination for his performance, I think, is absolutely absurd. So there you go. There's some hot takes from just this year, revolving around Barbie. Toxic with 331 says, I'm a head out now, Zach. Great stream as always, man. I can't wait to pop in another one. Have a nice night, man. Pizza to everyone. Yeah, well, thank you so much, Toxic Gamer, for being here. Thank you so much for supporting and being in the show. Like, I think you've been here consistently the entire year, dude. So I thank you so much for that. Thank you for all the support. Happy holidays, man. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever you celebrate, man, I hope it's a happy one. The show was made better because you were a part of it, and I appreciate you, dude. Have a great holiday, man. We'll see you next year. Dragon Movie Guy says, Golden Globe nominations came out this week. Any surprises or snubs that you took note of? I took a glance. What was it? There was one that I was looking at. Oh, you know what? Yes, I know one. Alexander Payne. Where's his nomination for Best Director? Where is he? The Holdovers. My favorite movie of the year. One of the best movies of the year. Now I don't know, because when you talk about snubs, in my mind, a snub means that you could easily remove somebody and put someone else in that should clearly be there, and someone should clearly not be there. I've not seen all the movies from the directors that have been nominated. I'm pretty sure it was the Golden Globes that didn't nominate him. Maybe it was the Critics' Choice. But anyways, one of those lists did not nominate Alexander Payne for The Holdovers, and I think it's a crime. Alexander Payne, I think, should totally be nominated for Best Director. Personally, that's just my choice. Average Viewer Films. Well, thank you for joining us, Average Viewer Films. Thanks for being here, man. It says, hey, Zach, I recently watched Leave the World Behind, and I found it to be the biggest waste of a watch in 2023. Decent CGI for a Netflix film. Honestly, dude, I've not seen it. I've heard nothing but good things about it, though. Now, I don't know if I'm going to watch it before the end of the year. I don't know if it's high on my priority list. I've heard a couple people say that it's not very good, but for the majority of people online that I follow, they are not raving about it. Not as much as they're raving about May, December, which I still haven't checked out. But it's getting decent word of mouth. So I might check it out, but to hear that you said you found it the biggest waste of a watch in 2023, that kind of keeps it off my priority list. But we'll see. Maybe I'll get around to it. Dragon Movie Guy says, dude, Ryan Gosling is a Disney Channel actor. Mickey Mouse Club with Brittany, Justin, and Christina. Okay. Woot woot. Fair enough, dude. I totally forgot about that. That was before my time. I didn't watch Ryan Gosling on Disney Channel, but you're right. I do know that history. He was on Disney Channel. You're right. That's hilarious. Well, there you go. My point's proven. It is a Disney Channel performance. That's really funny, and that's a really good point. And with that, guys, it looks like we're all caught up on the comments and questions. So that's going to do it. That is going to do it for this installment of Zach Milne Talks Live. Not just tonight, but for the year. Guys, I just want to say again, thank you guys so much for this year. One of the many goals I had this year, I wanted to grow this live show. I wanted to grow the audience. I wanted to grow the community. And you guys did that in spades. And you guys have made this show so much fun. You guys have made this show the thing that I look forward to the most every week. I love putting this show together for you guys. I love talking about the news with you guys. I love the conversations we have in the chat. I love the jokes. I love everything. I love getting to know you guys. I've just loved doing this. I've loved having you guys a part of it. I'm so appreciative. I'm so grateful. I'm full of gratitude for what you guys have made this show, for all that you've done for this show, for all the support you've given the channel. I mean, once again, just a reminder, if you guys are new here and you haven't, consider subscribing. We have a goal of 2,500 subscribers, and you guys have absolutely annihilated it. We've got 47 subscribers to go. Absolutely insane. I cannot believe that. And I just thank you guys so much for this incredible 2023 year, and I'm so looking forward to seeing what 2024 holds. Dragon Movie Guys saying, love the live stream, Zach. I'd love to have you come on Dragon Movie Guys soon. I like your insight into entertainment. Well, thank you so much, man. I'm always open to collabs for sure, so definitely hit me up. Milne, I'm at Milne Movies on Twitter, MILNE Movies on Twitter. Definitely send me a DM and we can get talking about that, man. I'm always open to collabing, and I'm always thank you so much for the invite, man. I'm always so humbled, and I'm always so appreciative when people say that they want to have me on their channel. It's such a great honor, and yeah, I would love to, man. So let's talk about that. And with that, guys, yeah, just thank you guys so much. It's been a great year, and I can't wait to see you guys next year. Same Zach time, same Zach channel.